Hi beautiful people, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Joy. This is my third update on my 2022 project pan. This is a 100 uses project pan. So the goal of this project is not to use up the products in the project but to use the product 100 times. Some of the products in the project I may be able to use up actually before hitting the 100 uses. If I hit my goal of 100 uses or use up a product before the 100 uses, I have the option of rolling in a product into the project in place of that product or to keep the product in the project until I use it up. I am working on 22 products for this year's project pan. I have not used up or hit 100 uses on any of the products yet in my previous updates. But for this update, I managed to use up 2 products. And let me start my update with one of the products I used up. And it is this Himalaya Moisturiser. This is the Olive Extra Nourishing Cream variant. I used this 14 times for this update. In total, I used this 89 times in this project. I actually started using this last year as part of the 2021 Christmas project pan, and I used this 17 times in that project. So all in all, to use up this product, I used this 106 times. Based on my experience, I will not repurchase this. Last year, I think I mentioned I'm fine with this product and it was a good purchase. I would still say it's a good purchase, but this is not a moisturizer I would consider repurchasing. Now moving on, I have 2 primers in this project. So I have this Eliana Blur Makeup Primer and this Dr. Brandt Luminizer Primer. For this Eliana, I used this 19 times for this update, and I have used this a lot more compared to my previous update, but I haven't marked where I am right now. So my plan is to actually remove these 2 because I don't trust the mark I made there. I tried to, I don't trust those 2. So anyway, so I'll just remove that one and put a mark when I hit the 100 uses. So for this one, in total, I've used this 54 times since the start of the project. So for this update, 19 times. And then for this Dr. Brandt Luminizer Primer, I've used this 8 times for this update. It is the same number of uses from my previous update. And this one, it says can be used on its own, and that's what I did most of the time I used this product. In total, I've now used this 22 times. This one, I am confident I can use this up before hitting the 100 uses because in terms of the weight, I can feel this is now a lot lighter. Even this one actually, but this one, it's a slow progress in terms of product usage. My next update are my foundation in this project. I have 3 foundations in the project. So I have this Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation, this LA Girl Pro Coverage Foundation, the shade is white, and this Happy Skin Ready to Glow Anti-E-Aging Liquid Foundation. For this Wet n Wild Foundation, I have used this 2 times more than my previous update. I've used this 13 times for this update. Last time I used this only 11 times. And the total number of uses for this project so far is 32. And I think I'm making progress actually in terms of the amount of product that is left in here. I did try to scrape the sides just to see if I can. Of course I can. But I think I'm making progress. It's just not obvious in this packaging for now. And then for this LA Girl Pro Coverage High Definition Long Wear Illuminating Foundation, this is the white. The shade is white. I'm mixing this with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation as well as with the Happy Skin. The total number of uses in this project for this one is 40, but for this update, I used this 14 times. So there were instances where I actually used this one on its own, as well as this Happy Skin, I use it on its own. So I haven't been mixing the white foundation all the time. For this Happy Skin foundation, I use this 13 times. It's the same number of uses from last update, and the total number of uses for this one is 42. This one, I can feel that this is now lighter, and I think I may be able to use this up in this project. Now moving on, I have my concealer. I am working on this Sansan concealer. The photo beside this is what it looks like in my previous update. And as you can see, this now looks a lot different from my previous update. I used this 18 times in this update, and the total number of uses is 56. I usually use this with a sponge, and that is my preferred way of using this product. I will continue to still hit the sponge on the sides. But even though I'm doing that, you can see a dent already in there, on not just in the middle, but also around here. My next update will be the powders in the project. I have two. So I have a pressed powder and a loose powder. For the pressed powder, this is a Marks & Spencer pressed powder, and the shade is light. This one, I use this 10 times. And this is the most usage I have for this update. In my previous update, I used this 5 times and 8 times. So 5 times on my first update, and on my second update, 8 times. And this time, 10. I used this 10 times. Now, if you compare it with the previous update, so the photo beside is what it looks like in my previous update, you can see actually that this time, this is now visible. The whatever is down there, I mean, the ring on the pan is now visible. Can you see? I hope you can. Now, if I keep on hitting my brush in the middle, I think I can already hit pan quite soon. But my plan is to hit my brush on the sides for now so that it doesn't crack. That's what it usually happens when I hit pan in the middle. Eventually, the powder will crack. So yeah, that's my plan. So I'm not in a rush to hit pan on this yet, but with this progress, I think I can use this up. My goal is to use this product up this year. And then for this Nichido loose final powder, I've used this 11 times. And the total number of uses is 36. I did not mark where I am right now. I will be removing this as well and just put a marker when I hit the 100 uses. I don't trust this one as well, because whenever I try to measure and see where I am, it looks like I'm still there. But I've used this several times after the first update. And then the next product in the project, I have a contour stick and a bronzer. So for the contour stick, this is the Careline contour stick. And this is where I am now. So this is, I haven't rolled this up yet. And my goal is to flatten this in my next update. I'm almost there, but not quite. If you compare it with when I started the project, that's where that photo is taken from. That's from my intro. And I think you can tell, you can see that I have made quite a bit of a progress on this one. So this one, I've used this 14 times in this update, and total number of uses is 40. And then for my bronzer, this is the Tarte Park Avenue Princess. This is a sample size or a mini size. I have used this 7 times for this update, and the total number of uses is 30. If you look at what it looks like in my previous update, it doesn't look like I'm making progress, but I've already used this 40 times since the start of the project. Sorry, 30 times since the start of the project. And then my next update will be the 3 blushes I have in the project. So I have this Franken blush. I have this BYS blush, which is actually I've repressed into this L'Oreal blush packaging, and a cream blush. This is the Alouette Face Paint Lip and Cheek Tint. For this lip and cheek tint, I'm using this as a blush. So this is under the blush category. I've used this 12 times for this update, and the total number of uses is 34. For the powder blushes, let me start with the BYS blush, which is not in its original packaging, and this is what it looks like now. I think you can tell a little bit of a difference from the previous update, but not much, because I've weighed this, and the weight is, I didn't make significant progress in terms of weight comparing to this Franken blush. So for this BYS blush, I used this 12 times for this update, and total number of uses in this project is 39. And for this Franken blush, I used this 17 times, and as you can see, comparing it from my previous update, I've expanded this pan, the pan already. So here, this is now expanded, and there's a baby pan up there. And if I continue to hit my brush on that area, I definitely will be able to expand the pan, and which is my goal. So I've used this 17 times for this update. Total number of uses is 55. Among the 3, this one I plan to use up. I think I may be able to use up. Moving on, I have 2 highlighter in the project. So I have this Becca highlighter, and this is the shade is Prosecco Pop, and another one, the Urban Decay highlighter, and the shade is Sin. For this Urban Decay highlighter, I've used this 10 times. The total number of uses in the project is 29. So this is what it looks like now comparing to the previous update. Not sure if there's really much difference, or if we can see a difference. Now for this Prosecco Pop, Becca highlighter in Prosecco Pop, this one, I used this 12 times. Total number of uses is 36. Between this and the Urban Decay, I prefer this one. I think I am more of a warm toned highlighter person versus a cool toned highlighter person. Now for this one, did I mention the total number of uses? I've used this 29 times in total, and for this one 36. So based on the number of usage, you can tell that I prefer this over that one. The next products I'll be giving my update will be the lip products I have in the project. I have 4. So I have this Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit in the shade is Rebel Rose. NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream, the shade is San Paulo. This Wet n Wild Mega Last Bullet Lipstick, and the shade is Dollhouse Pink. And this BTLA Lip Gloss, and the shade is Umber. For this Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit, I have used this 29 times for this update. I've used this less actually compared to my first and second update, because I've been using this 34 times in each update, but this time I only used this 29 times. So I'm short of 3 uses to hit the 100 uses, because in total, I've now used this 97 times. For this NYX Soft Matte Lip Cream, I used this 16 times. For this update, total number of uses is 48 times. I think I can use this up on or before the 100 uses. This one, I need to scrape to get more product. Otherwise, it's quite sheer already if I don't do that. And then for this Wet n Wild Mega Last Bullet Lipstick, this one, I used this 9 times. The total number of uses is 32. I normally use this with the liquid catsuit because I don't like the shade. So I layer this on top of this one. And then for the BTLA lip gloss, I used this 21 times and the total number of uses is 68. And I tried scraping this also to see just how much more product is in here. And from the looks of it, I'm making progress. And I think I may be able to use this up as well. But I think I will have to use this more than 100 times if I do plan to use this up. But based on my progress, I may be able to use this up this year if I keep this in the project. So I've now updated you with 20 products, 2 more products left. And the next one is this Vice Gandal Micro Brow. So this is an eyebrow pencil and I have used this up already. So there's nothing already left in here. I've used this in total 40 times. For this update, to use this up, I used this 15 times. And the last product in the project is this hand cream. So I've repurposed this Pinkies Collection makeup base that I used up last year. What is inside is a Smith & Crawford hand cream. I've used this 10 times and I'm going to mark where I am, and this is where I am right now. Total number of uses for this is 29. And from the looks of it, this is what is left. I can use this up in my next update. So I've used up 2 products in this project, this Himalaya Moisturiser and this Vice Gandal Micro Brow. So I'm going to roll into 2 products into the project. The first one is this Body Shop Vitamin E, and I already marked where I am. And the other one is a black eyeshadow. So this one, I think, using this 100 times, I might be able to hit pan. We'll see. My plan is to hit the brush on the same place so that I'll be able to hit pan on this one. Now, the top 3 products for this update, so the most number of uses for this update are, again, still the same as in my previous update, is this liquid catsuit from Wet n Wild and this BTLA liquid gloss. This one I used 29 times and this one I used 21 times. And the third one, because I already used this up and I only needed to use this 14 times to use this up for this update. So the third one is this Eliana Blur Primer. For this one, I used this 19 times. The 3 products that I used the least for this update, we have here this Tarte Park Avenue Princess Bronzer. I've used this only 7 times. The Dr. Brandt Luminizer Primer, I used this 8 times. And the lipstick, the Wet n Wild lipstick, the shade Dollhouse Pink, I used that 9 times. The least used product in the project is this Dr. Brandt. 22 uses in total. This powder, Mark & Spencer powder. And tied on the third place is this hand cream and this highlighter in the shade Sin. I've used this 29 times. So this one, although I've used this only 22 times, I'm not so worried because I know I can use this up. This one also, based on my progress, I may be able to use this up actually this in the project, hopefully before hitting the 100 uses. I've used this 23 times. And for this hand cream, I aim to use this up in my next update, by my next update. And this Sin highlighter, this one I need to work on. This one I need to focus on because I prefer the Prosecco Pop over this one. So my goal for next update is to use this up and to hit the 100 uses for this one, which will be very easy because I only need to use this 3 times. So this is my update for, this is my third update for my project 2022 Project Pan Project 100 Uses. Thank you all for watching and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!